Wicker, please.
Thank you. Let's just stay in Southcom. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro took unprecedented steps to establish control over the contested Esequibo region of neighboring Guyana. This violated an International Court of Justice ruling, and the region accounts for 2/3 of Guyana's territory and extensive offshore oil riches. How has this impacted the security of the region, and particularly the fact that Venezuela has deployed light tanks, armored carriers, and missile-equipped patrol boats along the affected border?
So, Senator, it absolutely has, and it is, in terms of our relationship with Guyana, as a very willing partner and a democracy in the region, very important partner. And we see that what the Maduro regime and Venezuela are doing and the activities that are taking against this democracy with an unjustified claim. And so our support for Guyana, we have shown that from the U.S. government, and through all the instruments of national power, the diplomacy, the military, and certainly—
Do you have directions from the White House, from your superiors in the department as to what we should do?
So as we work my engagements and what we do with security cooperation, we have a very robust plan with Guyana, and we've continued on that plan, and that's been coordinated with our U.S. government.
Can you briefly describe the plan?
And so it consists of visits by folks within my command, and the engagements that we do, the exercises, the subject matter exchanges. We've continued with all of those, not trying to exacerbate the situation, but continued on path with our regular engagements that have been scheduled, and we have not halted any of that.
Is the international community assisting us in that regard?
The international community is very, very much assisting, and I would say our allies, as part of our Western Hemisphere framework that we signed in U.S. Southcom with our allies that work in the region, the UK, Canada, the Netherlands, and also France. And so as we work together to coordinate our activities, they also have activities and engagements that they do in the region and are doing in Guyana, and those are also coordinated.
Thank you very much. Let me switch to General Guillot. Deployment of National Guard troops on the border. I think maybe a lot of Americans don't understand how often we do this, but it's worsened considerably. The department is not the lead agency, but it has deployed troops there in 18 of the previous 21 years. They're called temporary deployments, but it's beginning to look like permanent. There is a difference in the way we deploy and notify these units, is there not? In the sense that if it's a temporary deployment, they get 180 days notice in advance. If it's a regular deployment, it's a year and a half. So could you discuss that with us? And is my understanding correct there, General?
Senator, your understanding is correct. The primary difference that we see in Northern Command is we're in support, as you mentioned. So therefore, we wait for the request from the lead agency, in this case, Customs and Border Protection, and a request for assistance that is reviewed and then has ultimately been approved by the Department of Defense. And then at that point, we can start trying to match through the Joint Staff and the National Guard Bureau the correct unit to support that based on the needs that are in that request for assistance. As you alluded to,
would it be helpful if we treated it as a permanent deployment?
Senator, I think more than treating it as a permanent deployment would be earlier notification of the requirements. Since those change, that allows us to tailor the National Guard Force to meet the changing requirements of the Customs and Border Protection, whereas if we had a permanent force, we might have permanently the wrong type of unit to support. However, to your point, what we've established and we must maintain is having a permanent command and control structure over there, so we have continuity and predictability in how we present the forces and work with the Customs and Border Protection.
Do we need to give you different authority in that regard, or is it just a matter of the department?
Senator, I
treating it
think we have
differently?
I'm sorry. Senator, we have the authorities that we need. The thing that we would most benefit from, as you alluded to, is time. Time to pick and train and prepare the National Guard units that are going to go down there and support the CBP.
Well, to both of you, tell us what you need. We'll try to get it for you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Senator Wicker. Senator King, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In my notes, since you've been talking